Pelicans lose to the Timberwolves in overtime. Zion Williamson is out for at least 3 weeks with an adductor injury. Sounds like his same hamstring injury he's been dealing with. It all is negative around the Pelicans, except on this channel. Let's bring you the positives. Let's look at this game that went to overtime, and it was so good. It was such a good game. And the Pelicans should not be winning these kind of games. Let's be honest to ourselves. That's just where the franchise is at right now. That's where the players are at right now. Let's look at what the future holds for the Pelicans and why I think this might all just be a blessing in disguise. So earlier today, we get the announcement that Zion Williamson will be reevaluated in 3 weeks for basically the same injury he's been dealing with. And unfortunately, I can't say I'm surprised. I mean, he hasn't been playing back-to-backs. He does this every year. He's played 10 games, I think, so far this season out of the available, 22? However many games they've played. And it's really disappointing, obviously. I'm not saying that it's not disappointing. When Zion Williamson is your franchise player, this seems like inevitable at this point. We had essentially one healthy season from Zion, and it was a really great season, and then he got hurt right before the playoffs. And then there was a season he missed entirely. The Pelicans still went to the playoffs, got bounced in the first round. I don't know. I think the reason this could be a blessing in disguise is because under new management, Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver, they now have to look themselves in the mirror and say, all right, we came into the season preaching that Zion was our guy, but I don't think they can do that anymore. They cannot, in good faith, look themselves in the mirror and say Zion is the answer to a competitive basketball team. Obviously, he's an incredible player. Obviously. Incredibly gifted, talented, athletic. Truly a once-in-a-generation build, right? But there's the old cliche of the best ability is availability, right? He is not available when it counts, and sometimes when it doesn't even matter. So you can't rely on Zion Williamson. As much as it pains me to say I like Zion Williamson, and I see the possibilities just as much as Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver do, right? Like, think about Giannis, just a freak, Greek freak in his case, that can get to the hoop and dish out for threes. Like, that's a whole archetype people wanted to build around. The Bucks, they got their championship, did it successfully. Now Giannis is probably on the outs. Pelicans got that same type of player in terms of dominance and a little bit play style, but Giannis has developed a jumper. Zion has not developed a jumper or even attempted to. Giannis has been more available than Zion has, and it's not debatable. Giannis was an MVP. He's perennially in those conversations, and Zion's not. He's not even close. It's a blessing in disguise because I think this is potentially the straw that breaks the camel's back. Everybody will get on the same page that Zion cannot be the cornerstone of your franchise. Does that mean I think they'll trade him this year? Probably not. His trade value is essentially zero, right? Injured star that's making tons of money, making a max contract. Nobody's going to want a max contract injured star. So do I think they'll trade him? No. Do I think he'll come back this season? I don't know, to be completely honest with you, because we saw a few years ago he had a hamstring injury, and it was, he's going to be out for a month. He missed like 4 or 5 months, missed the whole rest of the season. So I'm not hopeful. It's a lost season anyway. They're not competing for anything. They're also not tanking for anything. They don't have a pick. So I think this is just get Derek Queen minutes, Micah Peavy minutes, Jeremiah Fear minutes, Bryce McGowan's minutes, Trey Murphy minutes. Just get everybody comfortable with each other. When guys come back from injury, for example, DeJounte Murray, see what you have with him as well, as much as you can. Does he fit in James Borrego's new style, new scheme, new offense? Same thing with Jordan Poole. We'll see. And then if they don't fit next year, or maybe in the offseason, try and trade them for picks or young players. Like, we're at the point where it looks like a rebuild is the correct thing to do, unfortunately, right? I know Pelicans fans, myself included, obviously, don't want to sit through another 6-7 year rebuild. It looks like you have the talent to do it with the rookies that you drafted this past draft. Your previous core didn't pan out, so it's time to scratch it. And let's be honest with ourselves. Do the Pelicans look like they're competing for a championship anytime soon? Does it seem like OKC's not going to have their window for the next, 3, 4, 5, 6 years? So when you're staring down the face of a potential dynasty, looking at your own roster and realizing that it's not close to competing, I think it's start to rebuild. Getting into more specifics of this game, I wanted to calculate the average age of the players who played in this game, because obviously you have 2 rookies starting, Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears. But then who's your oldest guy out there? Kevon Looney and he's not even 30. You've got G League guys, two-way guys coming in, playing significant minutes in this game. Sadiq Bey, even though I swear that dude is like 35 years old. It looks old. He's 26. You know what I mean? I'm older than Sadiq Bey. Crazy to say. And they went out there and they really competed against a very good Minnesota Timberwolves team, especially going up against Anthony Edwards, who's averaging essentially 40 points over the last 6 games. So the average age for the players that played in this game, all of them, including Kevon Looney, who only played 11 minutes. You know, he's on the older end. He's 29. The average age is 23.8, so under 24 years old for these guys. Like, you got a lot of young talent here. They just scored 142 points. Obviously, granted, it was overtime against a really good team, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Led at halftime, played pretty well in the fourth quarter. Offensively, they're looking a lot better under James Borrego, like a lot better. I'm saying all of this because there is a very bright future here in New Orleans. Pelicans have some talent on this roster. Trey Alexander was called up from the G League. He's played the last few games. Bryce McGowan's is on a two-way. He's been starting, right? So with the amount of injuries, when you get a game that's this competitive against this good of a team, you separate the wheat from the chaff. There was a lot of good here. There was a lot of good here. While I'm not saying it's okay to lose, I'm just saying the expectations cannot be that high for this team that they're putting out there on the court. In my eyes, they're exceeding expectations. These players are exceeding expectations. So that's just my opinion, obviously. I know coming into the season, the expectations were much higher, but a lot has happened since then. A lot of injuries since then. A new coach since then. I've got different expectations for them now. Like, Trey Murphy was awesome in this game. He's got to be a piece going forward. Like, he might even replace Zion as the #1 guy on a roster going forward. I'm still 50-50 on that. I see him maybe more as a #2 guy, but he showed in this game he can be the best player on a team. Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears, both amazing games. Just some more stats for you guys, and listen to how many people got involved to score in this game. Trey Murphy, 33 points, 15 rebounds, career high in rebounds, by the way. Great job, Trey Murphy. Sadiq Bey, 22.6 rebounds. He's still maintaining his form. Derek Queen, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Jeremiah Fears, 21 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. On efficiency, by the way, he was so good in this game. So I know it's been a disappointing season, you guys. Let's not sugarcoat that. But I'm looking out several years into the future, and I've got a lot of hope for this team. Right now, I just want to see these guys get a lot of minutes, the rookies specifically. Maybe see even another jump from Trey Murphy like it seems like he might be doing. And then see what you have in some of the injured guys who come back. If they don't fit, they don't fit. Let's move on. I appreciate all you guys for watching. If you made it this far into the video, make sure to like, consider subscribing, and comment down below your thoughts. I will see you guys on Thursday. Peace.